All right. I'd like to welcome anyone who might be joining us. I'm just going to take a moment here and just allow everyone to join who might be getting caught up here. All right. Well, hello and welcome to another installment of our Wireside Chat produced by CTI Connect. I'm Joey DeGraba, PLM at CTI Connect. Today, we're going to be covering Tower and Power, which will dive into all that CTI Connect does from an infrastructure and power perspective, as well as look at our professional services that all add value to our operators' applications. Today, I'm joined by Brian Klein, who is a channel manager with ICT for DC Power Solutions. And we also have Justin Robinson, the VP of Engineering and Professional Services. His title speaks for itself here at CTI. And if at any point during our discussion you would like to ask a question, please enter it in the chat. And once we're finished, we'll go ahead and field those and address any questions that you guys may have. So generally, a lot is said about radio technology being the means to access and the way in which operators strategize about connecting as many homes and businesses as they can with high-speed internet. CTI Connect takes it a step further with a consultative approach to infrastructure, power, and all the accessories that complement the radio technology, making CTI Connect not only a one-stop shop for all of your needs, but also helps operators build the best tower sites possible. A big part of our infrastructure offering is our internal Apex 9 line, which features all of the consumable accessories that you would expect. But through Apex 9, CTI Connect has become a full-scale manufacturer for many custom products. So when we talk about accessories, CTI Connect offers things like power supplies, surge protection, SFP modules, specialized connectors, you name it. In terms of full-scale custom products, we really dive into becoming that manufacturer, and we really offer a solution for every project. So if you take custom cable, for example, we can build a custom fiber jumper, whether it be as many strands or armored, whatever you may need, even to a custom power cable, whatever gauge, whatever jackets that you need. And we've also partnered with a company like Via Photon, who you may have seen on our last month's webinar, make hybrid cables and breakout boxes, which is a solution that really brings a carrier grade approach to fiber and cable management. In terms of the cable management itself, we also offer steel infrastructure and all the odds and ends that you would need to secure your cables to the tower. We were pretty excited this past year. We launched our Apex 9 outdoor enclosure line, which basically our approach to was really to purpose build those for whatever really goes into them. So we have partnerships with GS batteries, and the interesting thing about a partnership like that is they have batteries that are 147 pounds each. And when most customers are using 4 of those, we want to make sure that our enclosures can grab onto a solution like that and be able to support it. So realistically, we have a purpose-built approach to everything that goes in that enclosure. A product like ICT, for example, is another option for what would go in those enclosures. And Brian, this is where I would turn to you. We partnered with you, obviously, to bring a fully customizable power solution to our customers. Do you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself and kind of give us an idea of how ICT is approaching power, and how you cater it to anyone's power needs at the site?
Yeah, thanks, Joy. I appreciate you having me on. And absolutely, we're excited with our partnership with CTI that's going on 2 years now, I think. And if anyone's familiar with ICT at all, you know that we've got a wide variety of products. And that's where we really look to the folks like Justin and the whole group there at CTI to help identify and propose and get installed and support the right DC power solution. So ICT being founded in 1986, we've been at this for a long, long time, providing DC conversion products for wireless communications, obviously in the broadband world and LMR and other industrial sites and so on. Often, I would say power is not typically one of the low-hanging fruit thought bubbles there that people take a look at. You're looking at your radio systems and your towers and your antennas and all that. And often power is not considered up front or sort of an afterthought. I've seen times where folks have gone to site and they start installing and they're like, all right, how do we plug this thing in? How do we power it? Someone just assumes there's an AC power cord and that's enough. So ICT was founded to provide options and a whole bunch of different configurations and flavors and features and attributes that we can add into our DC power solutions to do just that. So what we're really known for and have been for the last, let's call it a dozen years or so, is the intelligent power, folks. So we're providing here at ICT, manufacturing it and selling it and supporting it through folks like CTI, highly reliable and intelligent devices for all the various flavors and requirements out there in the world. Most gear, as you're likely aware, requires power. Everything has got an on switch of some sort. And the bulk of everything in the markets that you guys carry and that your audience is in is obviously primarily going to be DC power. And that's where we focus. So our focus here at ICT is to help our new and existing customers overcome challenges by providing the highest quality, the best value power solutions that we can provide. And what we really focus on is the lowest total cost of ownership. So from the time you've decided you're going to buy power to install through all the years and years and years that it's running your tower, we're looking to be the least expensive in terms of the entire lifespan of the product. So we've really focused on that. And to do that, the bulk of our products are intelligent. They have Ethernet capabilities. They can connect to the internet, and that's how you can remotely and monitor and control not only our power plant or our power system or the device that we put in place, but most importantly, every connected device to it. So every radio, every switch, every router, every device that is connected into an ICT system, you're able to remotely monitor that system, get alarms, set thresholds, change settings, cycle power if necessary if something hangs up, and control it all as well. And you can do that through our very simple and easy to use GUI, our graphical user interface. It's Windows-based. It comes from an embedded web server in our devices. There are no exe files that you need to download and constant updates from servers and all that stuff. It's completely built in, and it's part of the packages that CTI offer. There's no extra cost. There's no extra SKUs that's involved there. And what that will do is allow you to avoid unnecessary site visits and truck rolls. And we all know post-sales, that's where money is spent and not happily. Is there's a problem at site that you may or may not be aware of until the customers start calling in with complaints and I've lost my signal, I've lost my internet, I've lost my connection. and you've got to send folks out to site at time and a half in the middle of the night on the Sunday up into the bush or up in mountains and that sort of stuff. And what ICT does is that we take all that away from you. All you need to do is be able to sit on your couch and with your iPhone, your laptop, your iPad, whatever it might be, get an alarm, check the system, whether it's the power plant or any connected device again, cycle the power. Often 90% of tech support is that, right? Turn it off, turn it back on. So we can do that through our system. So we're able to maintain that network visibility through that user interface. Again, it's a Windows-based, it's a single tab on any downloaded browser, and you've got full access into the entire power system and everything that's connected in behind it. So, and we can also integrate into site management systems. So using HTTPS or HTML or SNMP, STMP, whatever those four-letter acronym protocols are that you might be utilizing to control your entire site and manage and monitor it, we seamlessly integrate into those as well. So that's really what we're doing here at ICT, is coming up with these intelligent power products where you can safely and reliably monitor and control the power plant and any connected device to it as well. And like I mentioned off the top, we've got a whole wide variety of different power products. So we've got over probably 200 SKUs, I think, that CTI carries. And that's where Justin and his team come in. And that's, I think, the reason I'm probably on this podcast, webinar, chat, whatever it is. We've got all these different flavors, and the folks at CTI and myself here and whatever the team is can help you figure out what is the right mix of products to come together. So our products are fully scalable, they're configurable. Some are polarity agnostic, whether you have plus or minus 48 volts or 12 or whatever it might be. So the folks at CTI will help you come up with what is the right mix. We've got some enhanced security and connectivity protocols in our system. So we're up to date in the latest security, so we don't become a single point of failure or the hack point for networks. So TLS 1.2 and all that good stuff, we've got that built in. Obviously, alarm reporting is important. Maintaining a data log of everything that's going on at site, being able to set and configure alarms, determine how you're going to get them. Is it text? Is it email? Is it in the GUI itself? Being able to configure all of that. Network watchdog is another aspect that we've got in a lot of our products to make sure that that internet connection is always there. So there's often concerns, or sometimes concerns, if I put this power system up at the top of the mountain, up in a tower somewhere, and the power goes out, how will I know and how will I get that alarm if I've lost my primary power and therefore I lose alarms and so on. So we've got protocols and firmware and software all built into our gear that keeps that system up and running, even if there are main AC power failures or whatever that might be. We keep everything up and running on backup battery systems. We can provide you with advanced battery metrics to that. So not only will we just tell you what the voltage and current coming in and out of our systems are, but we can tell you runtime remaining and state of charge. We can do remote battery testing through our equipment. So instead of, again, spending the time and money to send folks up a mountain or into the bush to check your dipsticks or do whatever battery testing you need to do, you can do it right through our system, again, just sitting at home with your iPad or your iPhone or your laptop or whatever it might be. We can also help customers with a concept called load shedding, which you might have multiple devices all connected to our power systems. And in case there's a lightning strike and the power goes out and you're on backup battery systems and so on, ICT equipment will allow you to identify what are the critical components that are connected, what might be ancillary or not as important. And as that battery voltage starts to decrease and you get into 12 hours, 24, 48, 72, whatever it might be on backup battery power, you can decide what loads you want to offload and turn off to keep the critical components and the critical pieces connected at all times. So we've got that capability as well. So with all that, like I mentioned, there are plenty of different flavors and configurations and product families and SKUs that ICT has to be able to mix and match to what's appropriate for your site. Do you require N+1 redundancy to ensure your system is always up and running, even in the 0.2% chance that one of our rectifiers fail? Are you looking for hot swappable capabilities, these advanced battery metrics that I talked about before? Do you have 1 voltage or 2 voltages at site? A lot of instances, it's primarily 48 volts, but maybe you've got a couple of pieces, call them oddball or not, that might be 12 volt or 24, and it's a positive polarity and the other gear is negative polarity. ICT can provide that equipment as well and give you some dual voltage power supplies and rectifiers and distribution and so on. So we've got that as well. We've got different flavors of power distribution, be them circuit breaker protected or fuse protected, front panel access, rear panel access, depending where the racks are or the enclosures that you've got and how you can quickly and simply get to that equipment to wire it up and do all that stuff. Some of our gear has certifications. There might be class 1 div 2 requirements. There might be mil spec requirements at some of your customer sites and some of you folks online. So we've got those as well. So with all that, there's all kinds of flavors and variations and combinations that we can provide you to give you what it is that's required at site, not give you what's not required and charge you extra for it, and figure out what the right configuration is for that. And again, that's where Justin and Joey and the whole team at CTI will help you configure and talk to you about what it is that you're putting together and provide an entire solution that includes the power component with the right features and benefits for you. And that's the work that they do, and they do it very, very well. Proposing solutions, answering questions and clarifying why we went a certain way with an ICT device or two. They'll obviously help you install it and support and all those things that Justin and his gang do. So that's why we're very, very happy to be partnered with CTI. They do a great job representing the ICT line of products and being able to assist customers with every possible variation that there is to provide them and you with what you need, when you need it, and how quickly you need it, and hopefully at the right price. So that was a very long-winded answer to your single question there, Joey.
No, that's great. And I mean, even just to add to that, we have a great relationship with ICT, and I try to continue to understand your products as best as I can so that we can build the Apex line around that ecosystem of power, and realistically, whether it's DC power cable or enclosures or backup battery systems, all of that goes into complementing the ICT product and driving power up the tower to fire up the radios the best way possible. That drives us as a manufacturer of Apex 9 products to be better as well. But enough about hardware. There's also a huge world of professional services and engineering that complement all of our hardware sales, and that is where Justin comes in. So Justin, can you give us a breakdown of what you do here at CTI Connect and talk about how everything you're doing is also adding value to our hardware work?
Yep. Yep. So again, Brian, thanks for that. And Joey, thank you. So yeah, one thing, moving on with the professional services side is you heard Brian say a lot with partnerships and strategic partnerships and building the best in world-class products. And that's where really working with Joey, with the sales team for the Apex 9 line, really looking at it from a trusted advisor role, to where Joey mentioned earlier about taking that enclosure and knowing if you have 1 string of 4 batteries, the weight of it, or 2 strings of 4 batteries, knowing to have an enclosure that's designed to hold that weight and to be able to maintain the critical uptimes that are needed. So that's one of the big things with our engineering group and the services group is, again, being in those partnerships with the different manufacturers to allow us to provide our customer base a best in breed product. So highlighting some of those services that me and the team do, one of our most popular one is our site kitting service. So in our site kitting services, this has happened to everybody. So imagine having a pallet delivered or having multiple boxes kind of delivered with different things. Again, with us being able to sell hardware to go up the tower, including snap-ins, cushions, all those kind of little metal ancillary pieces. Imagine having hundreds of those showing up in individual boxes and just kind of scattered everywhere, or having stuff laying around, a technician thinks it's truck stock and taking it away. Again, that can cause a lot of downtime. And again, if you have a tower crew that is waiting and they don't have the right pieces, then that, you'll get charged an additional amount for an additional day. So again, having all that product, but then allowing CTI to kit it for you. And in these site kits, imagine kind of like a crate, but it has skids, so you can have it on a forklift. And everything for that site would go inside of this weatherproof crate. So on the outside of that, and also on the inside, you would obviously have a manifest, which would show all the equipment that's inside for that PO, for that job. And again, it would ship complete to the warehouse, to the site, or if there's a third-party contractor involved, it would ship to them. On the outside of this, we would have a QR code. So it makes it really easy. So you can scan it and you can actually get a listing that would pop up to tell you exactly what's inside of that box. So that's a very popular service because again, it really nullifies any missing parts, any missing pieces, since we know it ships direct from CTI to the customer. Along those same kitting services, again, as we talked about with our enclosures, is the ability for us to, as we like to say, to rack and stack. So to put equipment inside the enclosure. So say ICT, for example, is one. Cable trays is another. Routers, switches, all these different things that are procured from CTI for the customer, we can actually put into the enclosures. We can turn them up. We can configure them per the customer, and we can put them in through a burn-in cycle. So not only does this save a lot of time, it saves, again, a lot of money and the ability, again, to minimize something going wrong in the field if we can catch it first. So having all of this, again, with the QR code on the outside as an asset tag, and then again, being able to scan it, being able to see what's inside, including serial numbers. So having all that, rewrapping it up, sending it out to the site, again, saves a lot of time, a lot of effort, and really makes deployments a lot more, as I like to say, frictionless from that vantage point. So along with those, another popular service is our point-to-point link configuration services. So with microwave radios through different manufacturers, this process starts from the coordination process phase where we go out and see what frequencies are available for the engineered link. And then from there, making sure the appropriate subbands are ordered. And then when the equipment arrives, doing a 24-hour burn-in period. That way we can make sure there are no DOA radios. And then again, coming up with an ATP or accepted test plan from the customer to make sure that any particular hallmarks are met, and then we'll have it signed off, and then we'll send that off in part of our closeout documentation packages. Once all that passes, then we'll load up the software keys, because again, if something does happen, you don't want to have the keys loaded up ahead of time. And then from there, everything is labeled accordingly. And again, it goes in with the closeout documentation, which will include any relevant IP address information, any configuration, and then depending on which ports are used for data management, et cetera. All of that in a PDF form, and then also digitally housed for the customer. Then from there, it's sent off to our logistics team, and then it'll either be site kitted, or depending on the deployment schedule, we actually have the ability to warehouse that as well. So with those two, again, looking at partnerships and strategic partnerships, and again, like we've heard, the total cost of ownerships, taking the trusted advisor role, CTI Connect is partnered with some great infrastructure groups, so that again, we can provide world-class installation services for towers, for deployments. So, we never want to hear, hey, I can't get a tower going, I can't get these access points installed, I can't get point-to-point radios installed, we just don't have the people. Well, talk to me, talk to your account executive. We've got relationships with partners to help with those installation services. And the best part about it is that you can keep it all on kind of one PO. So it's on CTI paper. You can have one throat to choke, in essence, as they like to say it. but it really, again, makes the transaction really frictionless. So again, with the services, I like to coin it that CTI in our services group, we don't move boxes, but we move complete solutions. And that's the big thing, is moving a complete solution so that, again, the customer, no matter the market or the industry, if you're a service provider, or if you're, oil and gas, or if you're a VAR, helping you get your product up in the air faster. So then in turn, you can recognize your revenue faster. So again, when you're looking to level up your network for the future, remember CTI for all those additional things.
Absolutely. One thing I'll even throw in there too is SaaS services. We have a partnership with Federated Wireless. So if anyone has an opportunity to get into CBRS, we can basically onboard you into the SaaS services and take care of all the trainings and everything that that you need in that realm too, to basically take the bear of the process off your shoulders. It's all pretty much rolled into that same idea that Justin's been talking about. So it doesn't look like we have any questions from the audience at this point. So I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. I really appreciate.
I got one thing.
Go ahead.
So yeah. So also too, with the services that we are offering, the Tirana accreditation. So CTI, we're an official training partner for Tirana. I myself have conducted over 2 classes, 25 students who've been accredited in the trainings. So again, Q1 of 2023 locations are being uploaded to our site so that they can be registered. So the 14th and 15th of December, we're hosting a class in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then I know going into 2023, we're going to also have one in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we're planning the 18th and 19th of January. So again, it's a hands-on 2-day course that, again, for the customers that have deployed Tirana, will allow you to really get in depth with it, especially if you are planning to get it and you haven't put your hands on it yet. We'll definitely assist you with that. So again, you can contact your sales executive, or you can email us at training@cticonnect.com, and we can help you. And then again, we have a landing page as well for that. So.
Perfect. Well, thanks guys for joining us today. Brian, thanks so much for taking the time to kind of walk through the ICT portion. And again, if anyone has any questions about hardware packages, services, anything, please reach out to us. We're ready and willing to help any operator who wants to have a successful build and have success with their networks in the future. So thanks for joining us again, and we'll be putting this recording up on YouTube and all the various social medias in the future in case you want to share this with anyone who may find value in this conversation. That'll be it, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.